When you are about to walk, you found that the legs of the person beside you occupied all the places in front of him. It's hard for you to cross the way. In the dimmed light, you could see the familiar figure of a man. It almost overlapped you to the man in your mind as you were thinking a lot about him recently, but you stressed it was not very likely. Today is a press conference of entertainment industry. How could that person get involved? Or was it that you were thinking too much about him? You quickly dragged the person in your mind out and came to your sense. Sir, excuse me, I'm really sorry. Can you move your feet a little? That person didn't move. Sir, can you move your feet? Finally, that person moved his legs a little. You sighed, you were thinking too much. This person didn't move probably because he didn't hear you. You passed the seat as manager led the way to backstage to meet Jisoo. She was sitting there. In front of her was foods. She offered you some food. The dress was perfectly fit on her, coincidentally, so you suggested her not to eat much for now. After talking sometimes with her, you came back to the audience. Tonight, everything Jenny planned will be disappointing her cause the dress that Jenny had mentioned was actually with Joy. You couldn't understand what's going on. Jenny told you that dress was brought by your brother, but the dress is still with Joy. If Jenny told your brother that the dress was suitable for you, then he would never give it to anyone else. But still, the dress was with this actress. Thinking about possibilities, you walked in the direction of your position and stopped beside your seat. In the empty seat, left side was sitting two girls that you know, and the other right was sitting man that you were very familiar with. It was precisely the person you thought would never appear here. You thought that you had mistaken before. You couldn't care less. Someone from behind complained not to stand there, blocking their line of sight. You immediately react and wanted to walk past by him. You thought that he would give you way, but he didn't move his feet again. You could only endure anger and say slowly, Mr. John, is it convenient to move your feet? He raised his eyebrow looking at you. He didn't say anything, just move a little. Jenny was looking at you nervously. When she found out that the man sitting beside you was Jungkook, she was shocked and wanted to send you a message but felt a sharp gaze scaring her that she couldn't dare to text you. You were walking in that small place. Suddenly your heel was stuck in something that you couldn't balance and fall to the side. You were frightened to death, and two girls' faces pale and their eyes widened in disbelief. Things happened too suddenly. You could just smell the familiar scent of men's as you fell to your side uncontrollably, nothing to grab around. You subconsciously reached out to protect your head when you fall, but someone quickly grabbed you, making you fall onto him. He wrapped his arms around you. Jenny and Jonghyun's expression changed into shock to surprised. You thought that you would be bleeding if your head hit to something, but instead someone brought you into warm embrace. The strong aura around him wrapped you securely. The hand that was holding your arms changed to hold your waist, at the same time held your chin with one hand, forcing you to raise your head. Are you okay? His voice was impatient and the face was slightly pale. He looked quite frightened. Lingering fear had not disappeared when you heard his helpless voice and you shook your head. I'm fine. He scanned you before reached out to pull you into his arms. It was quiet all around. When host was giving speech, you could hear your own heartbeat. You were tightly hugged by a man. The temperature of his body kept passing you over. The more he hugged, the tighter he held you. The force was so strong that you were struggling to breathe steadily, but for some reason you didn't push him away. At this moment, you suddenly felt his nervousness, and the slightly pale face indicated that he was scared. The person who hugged you stopped moving. After a long, He lowered his head and kissed your temple. This kind of clear touch made your heart restless. Even you were into warmth of the man, you still remember what he had said before. How can you forget it? You slowly pulled yourself away. Thank you, Mr. John. You leave his thigh still in a daze and sat down on own seat. You felt annoyed when you found that your heel was broken. The quality of the shoes you bought this time was poor. You pursed your lips and put down the heel. His deep voice sounded near your ear. It's useless to thank with just your mouth. The warmth breath hit your ear. You frown and bite lower lip, pretending not to hear, and move a little far from him. Even you were staring at stage, your mind was somewhere else. Clearly, you couldn't focus in front. Soon, the actresses came on the stage. Jenny was surprised when she saw the dress Joy wearing. You pursed your lips and secretly glanced at her. You found out about this when you went backstage after called by Jisoo earlier. Jenny just came here today to see Joy making fool herself, but don't expect it to be opposite. Both actresses' visuals are good, and the dress they were wearing was stunning. Suddenly, Jenny stood up, not believing what she saw, but audience complained from behind. You quickly pulled her down to seat. She was extremely angry. She clearly said Sokjin about the dress. There was an interview segment. The media reporters asked the two actresses to take pictures and asked some questions. If the dress was brought by Sokjin, then why would he give that dress to Joy? Just by thinking, Jenny was really in bad mood. You also think about it. It can't be your brother. This matter is a little complicated. Reporters was questioning about things and about dress, cause the dress Joy wearing was high imitation. You couldn't believe it too, since your brother will not do such a thing. You were too focused that you didn't even notice the burning gaze coming from beside. As you were looking at the stage with an indifferent expression, and the dress Jisoo wearing was one of rare design. My Eva from overseas that no one have seen it yet. Eva's designing clothes are rare cause it was only one brand and most of design sold on high cost. But the dress Joy was wearing was high imitation. It had been brought by others. That means this dress was not personally ordered by Joy herself. So the media assumed this dress was given her by someone and that someone could be Kim Sok-jin of the Kim Group's director. Joy also confessed that the dress was not custom made by her, but it was gifted. At the end, people believe that it's really given by Sok-jin to her, even it's not revealed yet. Jenny keep biting her nails in anger. Her blood is boiling. Reporters are discussing the brands at the scene, realized that this event had been messed up and asked to discuss privately about the matter of dress is really given by the director of Kim Group or not. This person is really annoying. How can she said that the dress was given her by Kim Sok-jin? Did she deserve it? You were also stunned. The situation had developed to this extent. It was completely out of your expectations. You never heard your brother talking about any women. Chongyeon gives side hug to Jenny. I also want to know what is going on. Why Kim Sok-jin will do something like that? Isn't he was supporting our company? She looked at the side of you, the man sitting without expression. She couldn't help but swallowed her saliva. Forget it. Too many things had been happened today. It was like a dream to her. She never thought that she would be able to came in such a place. Her gloomy mood from the destruction of work had been swept away. Coming here is worth it. After all, she was able to see such a famous people. When she was a small designer, although her work was excellent, she had struggled to team up like now, let alone such an opportunity. After 2 to 3 hours, finally, press conference ended. Actresses bid farewell. All people started to get up and leave the venue. After a while, you three also decided to leave. When you stood up, Your wrist was suddenly grabbed. As you pulled back to your seat, you immediately turned your head to look at him. What are you doing? Let go. You scolded, unfriendly. He narrowed his eyes. You changed your face so quickly. When two girls heard and saw a scene, they couldn't help but watch helplessly, and then sit back on their seat like nothing happened. You felt little embarrassed as around people look over. You wanted to avoid the issue and lowered your voice. Hurry up and let go. Everyone is watching. This is press conference venue. Do you want to be recognized? So what if we get recognized? He raised his eyebrows. He didn't have to worry about being recognized. It would be better even. He would be in the limelight, but it's not a good thing being recognized like this. Nothing much. He took a deep breath and said in a low voice, Can you let me go first? Sure. He stared at you like a rascal. Add me on WeChat if you want me to let go. Well, a lovable rascal. You couldn't believe. You thought that you had misheard. He blocked your way so that he can threat you to add him back to WeChat. You blinked. What did you say? You blacklisted me last time? He had a deep grudge when he said this. Because of this matter, he had kept it in mind until now. He hoped that you would add him back. Therefore, this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. He took out his phone and opened the WeChat interface. Add me as a friend, then go. Your mind was not processing the things. Why did this man ask such a question? I don't use WeChat usually. You try to make excuse, then add me on Kakao Talk. You're still thinking, more or less. He urged, hurry up and take out your phone. You turned to look at Jenny and Jonghyun. They blinked innocently. It's just adding, nothing gonna be wrong. Add it. Jonghyun said as Jenny nodded in agreement. Hurry up and add it. The two traitors, you glared at them but took out your phone anyway. You had blacklisted him, so now you had to unblock in front of him and drag him out. Is that enough? You have not added to friend list yet. He sent you a request and leaned over to see on your phone. His scent is all over. You don't want to add him as you sometimes add a moment with your son. Hurry up and pass. He really looked like a child who wanted candy. You helpless pass him. Is that okay? Seeing that the message on his phone finally showed that he had added you as a friend, the corner of his mouth unconsciously curved up. Then he thought of something and coldly said, Don't delete me when you go back. You, how did he know? After thinking, you felt that there was no need to delete and nodded. Alright, I won't delete. Can we leave now? And finally, he let go your hand and moved his legs away in satisfaction. You heaved a sigh of relief and got up to leave, but found your shoe was broken. You had actually forgot about it. Discussing with him, Sarang, the root of your shoe is broken. What should we do? Jenny said in surprise. You also looked down and was a little depressed. You took off shoes and hold it, then walked with your white and tender feet on the cold floor. Let's go out like this. When he saw your extremely dazzling white feet walking on the cold floor, his eyes deepened dangerously. In the next second, he quickly got up and reached out to carry you. Who was barefooted? Surprised cry can be heard when suddenly a man carried women. Your expression changed when many people looked over. You looked up at him and whispered, Put me down, what are you doing? You are walking barefoot? It will be cold. I will carry you out. You shake your head. I don't need. I can walk by myself. Put me down. He didn't give you a chance to retort and walked forward. You struggled, but when you saw many people looking, you immediately pulled his collar and buried your face. Jenny and Jungkook were surprised that they didn't even move. There were so many media outlets, it will be troublesome if they filmed the scene, but he was not afraid as long as you covered your face. Everyone would just say that Jungkook was carrying a woman. It had nothing to do with you. Your action didn't make him dislike, but on the contrary, you relied on him. and approached him on your own. It made him happy as his lips curved into a small smile. Two girls that had been frozen quickly followed behind. Media immediately came to shoot. When they saw the business tycoon carrying a woman, it will be headline. Jenny and Jonghyun quickly back up when they saw media and press taking pictures. Even you buried your face, you could feel how many cameras was flashing crazily. You had heard as your body tensed up, this media are really gossipy. Jungkook's charm was actually greater than celebrities. You really wanted to bite him now? This man is really troublesome. You tightly hold his collar. He immediately lowered his head. Don't be afraid, I will protect you. You wanted to laugh in anger. If he didn't hug, then nothing will happen. You wanted to scold him. He seemed to be deliberately torturing you cause he didn't walk when media trapped around. You felt hard to breathe. Hurry up and leave. You sounded as if you are on the verge of crying. Your dress was not so comfortable and the posture didn't help at all. When he realized that the person in his arms was irritable, he coldly looked at the media, get lost. He didn't give any face to media. He didn't care about what will media write about him being cold and unreasonable. To him, the comments of these people didn't matter at all. However, which one of them didn't care about their lives? Would write a negative about him? They stepped back, giving him way. Not only was this man ruthless, but he was also not someone to be trifled with unless they didn't want to stay in country with peace. He walked to parking lot. The two girls followed after a while. You didn't dare to look up even after you didn't hear much noises. It's hard to breathe in his suit. For him, it's somewhat funny to see you like that. There is no one else. Come out and take a breath. You snorted and didn't dare. You didn't believe this person's nonsense. What if someone captured and revealed your face? But you can't breathe steadily. You want fresh air though. You slowly poked your head to look around, still covering your face with his suit, and sighed of relief. All right, let me down now. He looked you with disdain. When did I say I would let you down if there is no one? You looked up in disbelief. Your shoe is broken. I will bring you to buy a new one. No need, I can buy it myself. He didn't listen and bring you to his car, then turned to look back at both following girls. You are with this man. How can they, especially Jenny, can leave alone? They stopped when Jungkook looked at them with sharp eyes. You too. He narrowed his eyes. Go back first. But Jenny hesitantly looked at you. You struggled in his arms and looked at Jenny with puppy eyes. She can even bite the bullet for you. Mr. June, you should put Sarang down. After we get on the car, we don't need to broad shows. We can go straight home. He raised his brow. His cold aura made shrunk her neck. But looking at your appearance, she could only continue. Sarang is also not willing to go with Mr. June, right? Moreover, it's already late. It's not convenient to be, and there is also many reporters today. We will be in trouble if we get captured. You looked at Jungkook. Did you hear that? Put me down now. He just stared at you for long. If you don't let me go, then I will blacklist your WeChat. He is speechless. Are you going to let me down or not? It was finally your turn to threaten him. It's unknown what he was thinking, but seems your threat is working, as he looked afraid that you will really blacklist him. He slowly put you down. Finally, your feet land on the cold floor. It's actually cold as you shiver. You are not allowed to drag me down. He sat with cold face. He looked like a bad-tempered rascal at the moment. You couldn't bother with him anymore and turned to leave, but he pulled you back. You frowned, let go. Did you hear that? What I said? He stared at you seriously. He's really too much. Your patience with him is actually limited. I know, I will not drag you down. Can I go now?